Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Um, to, Today I was checking the chart and I noticed that we have one of those unusual weeks where there's not too much news coming from the US side. We have the unemployment claims, which is gonna be at 1:30 on Thursday. But outside of that, we are likely to have a technical chart week, which means that the levels of support and resistance or patterns that are showing in the charts are likely to happen without the added volatility and how can I say liquidation hunt that generally happens on big news days. So we don't have too much big news. We have the unemployment claims. We know that's important for the Fed, but outside of that, it looks like we're going to have a relatively quiet in terms of volatility. But I'm not sure it's going to be quiet because price action is compressing for both ETH and BTC, and we are going to see some movement soon. It's impossible not to after all this ranging, to be honest. Now, the S&P has closed on Friday. I'm going to start with the background S&P DXY, and then I'm going to have a look at the monthly and the 2 weekly MAs and levels for ETH and BTC, and we're going to revisit the trade setups that we did on Friday. We're still in the same space, so we're saving time from redoing the trade setups. It's basically the same, so we won't be longer than, let's say, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Now, the S&P on Friday closed on an up candle holding the golden pocket here. Now, this is generally a good sign. It means that we might be going up to challenge the previous peak here. And this previous peak here is there we go. And as you can see, this previous peak here is the retracement of the daily one at 46.12. So the daily stock on the S&P is getting quite high in the overbought, but it hasn't turned down yet. So we know that the stocks can keep going until they turn down. When they're turned down, momentum has shifted. If they're not turned down, the momentum can continue. And on Friday, the 1 hour candle, the final 1 hour candle, closed holding the golden pocket. Now, it's done the 702 retracement, and doing the 702 retracement means we are likely that this might be it. It could stop here and it could reverse downwards. The 4 hour stock is showing that. The 4 hour stock on the S&P is pointing to the downside, and there is the previous peak here on the 4 hour is a pivot candle. Again, it's tricky to read because the 4 hour is compressing so much and it's becoming quite fickle. I'm seeing this more so for ETH rather than the S&P. But until we have the daily and the 4 hour in agreement, we don't really have a trend. Even then, a trend in momentum, not necessarily a trend in price action, because it needs to get through the previous support and resistance to be confirmed. But they've been going against each other so much lately because of the chop, because of the lower volumes, and because, again, the typical summer holding within a particular range. So that's where we've been since this is the peak in July. This is the bottom in July, June. This one here, I'm going to take this here, 13th of June. So this is where the S&P, this is this is where the S&P has been since June, mid-June, which, as you can see, is a double tier support and resistance sideways ranging level. Sideways ranging motion range. The word is not coming. So that's again, I will be watching for the S&P to do one of the two things that I mentioned on Friday. Either break the previous top and go to the upside. I'm going to color code this green. So breaking the previous top and making a push towards the previous peak in 2021 would be lifting the whole market. It would definitely be a green buy signal for the market, and I expect coins to follow. If we stop here, if we can continue, we push a little bit to the 786, and we can't break within, let's say, this week, because this is the 4-hour time frame. We have a week to break the previous peak. If we don't break the previous peak this week, I believe we're going to get rejected and start heading down. I cannot call any direction because of where we are right now. Now, the DXY, is to the downside on the 4-hour. And to the downside on the daily. So the DXY is showing a downwards, how can I say, consistent momentum indicator. So downwards for the DXY means up for the coins, up for the S&P. We still need to see if that's going to happen, because at the moment what we've had over the past 3 days was holding the 20 on the daily. So as long as we're holding the 20 on the daily, we're holding strong support. Also, over the past couple of days, we are holding the 200 on the daily, and the 5, the 13, and the 20 have all crossed it. So if we're looking at the previous rallies for the DXY, here and here is where they got rejected, and the MAs couldn't cross the 200. Now we are above the 200 EMA with the 20 EMA, the 13 EMA, and the 5 EMA crossing above it, which is, in my opinion, a sign of good support. Again, what do we need to see the DXY doing? We need to see it breaking this peak, which would confirm this as a W formation, or you can take it as a triple bottom formation, whatever you choose to do to see it as. It is a bottoming out formation if it breaks this and continues upwards, back tests this level, this purple range that I have, and then moves on. So that would be the confirmation of a lift and for the DXY, and a confirmation of a drop for the coins. Again, if I were to look at this as an overall background indicator, I say it's holding great support and it's going to continue to the upside. I need to see that continuation. I won't believe it till I see it. That's how it goes. So in the meantime, let's just watch the levels. I'm not in any position at the moment. I am watching for the confirmations, the back test that I told you on Friday. Now I'm gonna have a look at the monthly and the bi-weekly charts for BTC and then ETH, and I'm gonna do them. How can I say? We're gonna have the larger time frame overview, and then we're gonna do the level. So I'm gonna do them in parallel, the charts and the trade setups. So I'm gonna hide. I've already hidden the drawings. I'm gonna go to Bitstamp. Bitstamp has a longer history. It's been a lot more fickle these days. Like you can see, for instance, this one here was a lower low, quite different from our Bybit situation if you're trading on Bybit. But what I'm interested in is the relationship with the monthly and the bi-weekly MAs. Now, um, I'm looking at BTC. I don't have too much information on the monthly 50 MA, which is the one that I'm going to look at. Now, for me, if I were to look at this as a 1 hour chart, this 200 MA is worryingly untested. And worryingly, again, it might be emotional, but it's not emotional. It's more like like technically this is where it should come back to and back test. And I know that the monthly is a big time frame, so it could do that in the next bear run, in the next bear market drop. That could happen as well, or it could happen in this one because it is around the 15,000 mark. So there is, I was checking liquidity this morning on the 1 hour, on the one year liquidity chart. There is a lot of liquidity at 15,000. Now, I'm not saying we're gonna get there. I'm not saying we're gonna get there this month or even this year, but what I'm saying is that we might get there by the end of the year, in this trimester, or by the end of this bear market, because it looks like a totally reasonable place for support. Now, we looked at the previous lift from, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that again because it's really important, and I believe this is what days like these, where we don't have so much discussion to have on the 4 hour time frame. Days like these are good for background and zooming out information. Oh, I'm so sorry. My mind is awake, but my mouth and my hand are not. So what I was showing you earlier was this month, not this month, last month, was how the lift from the previous bear market happened and how long it took, and the fact that we have two examples here. I took the 20 MA, the white line on the monthly to reference. So with the 20 MA on the monthly, we have three examples. We have the market in 2015, we have the market in 2020, and then we have the market in 2023. Here it broke it, closed above it, continued above it, held it as support for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. It ranged above the 20, not going anywhere until we had a higher high, and that higher high marked the lift. There was a backtest of the 10, and then the bull run started. With the previous market, the one with COVID, some people take this as two separate markets. I'm going to take it as one because of how, I know it's protracted here, but that's how it happened. This to me is a 1, 2 for a lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have here 5. That was it. That's the impulse, in my opinion. So this one here. This one here is the breaking, the confirmation. It stayed above it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Final push down, closed above it in the next month, and then continued. Did a higher high after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. So it took about 17 months for all of this to happen. Now, this was faster, this was slower, this was COVID as well. It's a once in a century event. So again, I'm taking that duration with a pinch of salt, and I will be averaging that anyways. Now, where are we now with reference to the 20 MA on the monthly? We're literally nowhere, because we've backtested, we tried to close above it and we failed. So in my opinion, we are closer to, let's say, this situation than this situation. We are in a particular situation. It's not identical to either of these, but we are trying to turn the 20 MA on the monthly into something. Now, this is a tweezer situation, and you know, I generally tweezers take price action out and up, but they could make a previous push down for a hunt and then up. So that could happen too. Now, all in all, the reason why I'm saying this is twofold. The first one is to show you that we have no support for this lift on the monthly, and we will have time to see that support on the monthly, because it is in the shortest scenario, it held there for 4 months. So it's not something that we can miss. We both here and here, both previous markets that I can analyze are showing continuous support on the 20 after it's turned into support. So at the moment, we don't have that support. We have a tweezer situation. In my opinion, this tweezer situation is quite similar to what happened here. This one would be a tweezer situation. We might see a push up and then a push down and then consolidation. So that is the most likely scenario. But again, this is just a stab in the dark, because I don't have any reasons to believe that can happen. There's like, where's the lift gonna come from? And this is a monthly lift before it pushes down, so this would be a 40% lift. So again, we don't have the indications that that can happen. So that's why I'm presenting this to you more so as a as a bigger picture time frame. So again, we might be 4 to 10 months away from getting support. Now, because of the BTC halving next year, and because of the regularity that it has in terms of movement, this particular event, I would say that the first quarter next year, we might actually be able to see a local higher high and the lift into the bull run. But that's my personal opinion. Not a projection, because we're not holding the 20 for me to start counting months of support. That's the first thing that we need to see, to hold the 20 and to continue that. Now, when we look at the bi-weekly, we get a little bit more info, because it's, there we go, because it is more refined. So here we are holding the 20, but we are below the 200. So this is a new situation compared to both previous markets, because it's the first time BTC has gone below the 200, and the 50 is coming down with a lot of gusto. If the 50 were to cross the 200, that would be a cross, and I would say that would bring price action down, and it might actually bring it down to that 200 MA on the monthly. Okay, now I also wanted to tell you here that we need to see the 200 now held as support rather than the 20 on the bi-weekly, the 2 weekly. I think that works as well. Because this is the major resistance at the moment. So here we had a double top formation on the 200, and the 5 and the 10 are pushing down. It's not looking good. If I were to see this on the if I were to see this on a smaller time frame, I'd say we're gonna come down to at least 15,000. But that's, again, that's me making an assumption. That assumption will be confirmed on two conditions. The first one is we break this bottom. There we go. The first one is we break, come on, we break the previous low. So we need to break this previous low at 24.7. This needs to break. This will confirm as an M formation. And if that confirms as an M formation, we are most likely to have its technical target at breakout. And here we are, 20K. And that would be a triple top formation. Triple bottom formation, sorry. Triple bottom formation, round bottom. And of course, we need to see how that's going to match our fib levels, because this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would be the golden pocket. The 786 would be 18, and again, the bottom is 15,500. If it does, if the market catches momentum, we might see that happening as well. Okay. Now, I don't want to waffle because generally context discussions like this one get me to waffle quite a bit. Now, I wanted to show you how I would read the levels. The levels are quite tricky because this could be an M formation on a bigger time frame. If this were it, that would be quite catastrophic, because that means we would have, terrible emotional language on me today. That would be quite downwards movement, indicating towards the 12K. We might even have the 7K, 8K ranges like that. However, I looked at previous lifts and they're not as the peak. They're not taking this as the peak. They're taking this little bump here at the top as the peak in terms of levels. So this would be the M formation, push away, lift up, push away, lift up, push away. So we have level 1, level 2, level 3 done. And now what we need to do is push down, because this was the W formation. We lift it away, we push down, we lift up, we push down, we lift up. So that could be it in terms of levels. We have done our drops on the daily. Again, I'm using the bi-weekly for a bigger perspective, but that is that would be the movement in terms of what's going to happen here. A correction, I believe, here is the more obvious choice. Again, we need to see the previous bottom get broken. We need to see continuation downwards, and 23 would be my next level. 18, 15 would be possible levels too. Now I'm going to put this back to our levels. Perfect. There we go. Now I'm going to do the same thing for ETH. We are 23 minutes in, but that's okay, because I don't anticipate this lasting longer than 10 minutes, because you've already seen my you've already seen the way I read things. Again, for ETH, the 200 MA is quite low. It's a 950 ETH. Totally see it. Again, I totally see that happening. I will take this as the M formation, push away level 1, lift up level 2. Here's where ETH has played a different part. This could be it here. So 1, 2, 3. We would be missing another push down. So it needs to be 2 of these distribution A's on the way down. We don't have that. But what we do have, again, no two patterns will be the same in the way they happen. If we zoom in and let's say we bring the daily, we might actually see that, I don't know, maybe this was the end. Tricky, very tricky. Yeah, again, I'm holding back on making this count. But anyways, 1, 2, 3 levels down, like so. Now we need to correct this. It might be a rounded bottom situation, triple bottom situation, whatever it is, that might be it. And then we will start accumulating and lifting. Now, before I move on to the time frame, the way I did for BTC on the monthly chart, what I like you to notice here is yes, go bring back the drawings. Let's put away the indicators. This one here was a 0.5 correction and rejection, push down, double bottom. This one here was a 0.5 double bottom. It's back again at the 0.5. Is it going to break through it? Yes, no. Here it didn't. So this one did a 2 swings at the 0.5, push down to a lower low from this. So got rejected, push down, lifted again, push down again. So the space of the 0.5 is quite repetitive in this context. Now, I'll put the drawings away and I will bring back the weekly, the monthly. Okay, now the monthly is holding the 50. Again, we don't have information. I am on Bitstamp already. I don't have more information about where this is going with reference to the 50, because this is the first time it's held it. So here it dropped below it and it needed to consolidate. However, I'm going to take the common denominator, which is the 20 MA, the white line. Here it took 2 tries to consolidate it, to turn it into support. We don't have it turned into support right now. What we have is an attempt and then a rejection, push down and then a lift up and then consolidating above it. We don't have that on the monthly. And again, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months to the 7th month placed a higher high with reference to this, confirming the W. So it's not something that we might miss because we haven't checked the monthly, because in 6 to 7 months there's plenty of time to check the monthly. Okay, that's it from me as far as the bigger time frames are concerned. Now I'm just gonna revisit our levels because we need to know where we are this week. Again, I haven't placed any position. I will be looking to place possibly a short entry after the start of New York. That would be my there's so many fibs here. That would be my again my most likely projection. Here is what we have right now. I'm finding it hard to keep both the horizontal and the patterns going at this time. On the arc, for instance, I know I'm not putting in the arcs anymore, but I'm watching the swings as they come. This would be a double top first drop. This would be mountain peak. I thought this was going to be mountain peak and we're going to come down from here, but no, it didn't. This is where I got caught. And this turned out to be mountain peak, back to previous level of support and resistance, and then pushed down. Now, what I'm waiting for at the moment is not a back test of the 20 or the 50. What I'm waiting for at the moment is this particular movement. I'm going to take this path and put another one. So breaking the support, back testing it, and then coming back down. And again, 1530 would be the 786. And for this pattern, and I know I have a lot of lines, I'm really sorry about it. I am a minimalist. I love clear charts with very few things on that allow me to see the bigger picture. But at the moment, I just can't make it clear because of the multiple support and resistance that we're working with. And I think it's good to have it like that, just to know what's breaking. Again, I hope you had a nice weekend and you didn't trade this mess, because it is super offensive to trade. Okay, now for the lift, what I'm waiting for is, again, this could give us an answer. The purple box, our weekend levels, could give us an answer sooner than the support and resistance line. And here would be the target 1850. And if I'm not mistaken, yes, that would be the top of this, and it would also be a nice fib retracement level. Let me take the previous peak because it's not showing on that. Okay, it would be the 702 of the previous peak. Happy days. Okay, super. But anyways, that would be these would be these would be what the levels, the ranges, the edges that I'm waiting to see broken. Either way, again, I'm not placing my capital at the moment in anything. I am watching the daily come down, and the 4-hour stock is at the top, and it flipped and flopped yesterday. This was yesterday coming down and then lifting up. It's absolute mess. Daily is down, and the 12-hour was down yesterday, but it looked, again this morning, it looks like it's gonna want to lift. And if we take the week again, here we are, the week is pushing down. So we have the daily, the weekly, and the 12-hour pushing down. And look how close the 200 EMA is, and it hasn't once been back tested. And I know ETH loves to do that, to my annoyance and despair. But this is where it is. It's to me, it's too close for comfort, and I believe that this is going to be back tested. Anyways, back to our daily levels. We have tight daily levels today. We are moving between the psychological high and the psychological low. The daily and the pivot are right in the middle. Look at this. I was watching yesterday just for fun. I was, again, just watching my movies, and then for fun checking the charts, and I've never seen so many back tests of the psychological levels within the space of a day. So everything here happened yesterday, Sunday. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Incredible. Like, usually what we get is one initial touch when they're set, when these levels are set, and then another one in the opposite direction of Monday. Yesterday we had 5. Look at the 1-hour market maker vectors here, building shorts, building longs, building everything, because they have the liquidity to commit to either direction, because they're going to move the market sooner or later in that direction. So that's it. Main idea to keep in mind, we're ranging, we're pushing against support. Generally, pushing against support means we will break it, and we will see a push down. 1530 is the 786. If we do break the resistance of the 50, EMA, 50 MA, sorry, on the 4 hour, we are likely to move up. At the moment, we're holding the 20 on the 4 hour, the 5 and the 10 have lifted. We need to see what's going to happen here with all of this good stuff holding. We might be coming up to challenge the 50. We might not. We will see. I'll keep you posted. I'll be at the charts today, and if I see any good entry possibility around New York time, I will let you know. Okay, super duper. Very good. Okay, now let's have a look at BTC's levels. I did go above the 10 minutes. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be done quite soon. So our levels for the BTC indicate a similar. Yes, we're here, and I'm gonna go to the 4 hour. There we go. Indicate a similar possibility. As you can see, BTC is slightly more organized, or maybe I didn't put as many lines, one or the other. Again, I'm gonna take a little bit of that lift into account as consolidation, and a little bit of these drops for my measured target. So that would be it. I'm gonna put it here and then clone it. Oh, I told you on Friday that I'll be coming back to these trade setups this Friday and checking to see how we traded these, because we're all planned for them, and it's good to be able to trade them when we see the moves happening. So this would be a correction as well around the 786, a little bit lower, similar to ETH. And we are holding the 20, we are holding the 10 and the 5 on the 4 hour. The 50 is above the 200 on a 4 hour, which is a bit odd, because this again, this is a nice cross, but it hasn't triggered off any particular movement, but ranging. We need to see again what will happen with this. Seeing the 4 hour cross like this and nothing happen is odd, but it's not odd when for the past 3 weeks this is what we've been doing. This has been our life, with a Bart Simpson here in the middle. Could this be a double Bart Simpson? Maybe up again to the top. That's it from me. I hope I was clear. I'm gonna post this on the chat. Do let me know if you have any questions or if you have any trade setups of your own. Again, since London hasn't done anything and Sydney hasn't done anything until now, I anticipate more ranging, and the start of New York might give